Good evening. It is wonderful to be with everyone here at NALEO. First, let me begin by commending Arturo Vargas for his wonderful leadership over the years of NALEO. Let's give Arturo a big round of applause for everything he's done as an effective advocate and champion of the Latino community. I also, of course, want to recognize the board for their leadership and thank Senator Martinez and let him know how inspiring he has been, one who has always reached out to accomplish things on a bipartisan basis, one of the first folks who offered to show me the ropes and take me out to lunch and give me some advice when I got appointed HUD Secretary. Thank you, Mel. It means a lot. I also, of course, want to thank and commend Congresswoman Roybal for her own leadership and her advocacy and the track record that she has built up in Congress. It is fitting that the namesake of the honor tonight is of Congressman Roybal, a trailblazer, one who inspired so many, one who helped lift up generations of folks, not only in the Los Angeles area, but throughout the United States to greater prosperity. Thank you very much, Congresswoman Roybal, for being here. Well, you know, I can't tell you over the years how many times I have been mistaken for Henry Cisneros. In fact, I was in a cab like a year ago, and the cab driver says, "Oh, you're from San Antonio." I said, yeah, I used to be the mayor. He says, "Oh, yeah. Cisneros, right?" Probably, Henry, if I were counting, I would say about 82 times in my public service career, I've been mistaken for you. And I always have to tell him, it's embarrassing because I have to tell him, first of all, I'm not as tall, all right? I'm not as talented, and I'm not as wealthy as Henry Cisneros. It is a pleasure to be here tonight to honor the inimitable Henry Cisneros. And I come tonight to honor him, first of all, as a fellow former mayor of San Antonio. In the days before Henry got elected as the first Hispanic mayor of a major American city and the first Hispanic mayor of San Antonio in 139 years, he ran these newspaper ads that said at the top of them, "America is watching San Antonio." And there was nothing more true that was ever said than that in politics in San Antonio at the time, because over the next 8 years, America did watch San Antonio. It watched as a young 33-year-old mayor lifted the city up with a message of bringing people of different backgrounds together to work toward economic opportunity, an inclusive agenda that saw San Antonio through one of the most prosperous periods of its history, and in many ways put it on the map and set it on the course that it continues on today as one of the fastest growing Sunbelt cities in the United States. He did it in a way that balanced the concerns of all different communities within the city, under the common agenda of creating jobs and opportunity. And he really reinvented the role of mayor, making it stronger than it ever had been and more effective. I also come, of course, tonight, as Senator Martinez does, to commend Henry and to honor him as a former HUD secretary. Every day in the Weaver building on the 10th floor, I pass this big painting of Henry that sits right outside our conference room. And there are so many employees at HUD that will still talk about the young, energetic, visionary people person that was Secretary Henry Cisneros, that helped inaugurate the Hope 6 program, that got us out of this mentality that we could solve all of the problems just by investing in housing, but recognized that we needed to holistically lift up communities, not just to look at the housing, but also to look at the schools in the area, to look at their access to transit and their access to good jobs. Henry left a mark that was indelible and that continues on today. And finally, I came to honor Henry tonight, and maybe most significantly, as one who is a fellow San Antonian and who in 1981 was 7 years old, and for the next several years had the honor of watching Henry. You see, just as America was watching San Antonio, there was a generation of us who were watching Henry. And over those years, there was Henry, standing with sleeves rolled up in the middle of an unpaved street on the west side of San Antonio to call attention to underinvestment in the barrio. Or there was Henry, all prim and proper in a three-piece suit, escorting Prince Charles through a tour of the city. Or there was Henry in one of so many photos that I saw over the years with his hand in the air, talking about economic development and job creation and how we would build a city of the future. He was, to so many of us who grew up in that time, not just the mayor of San Antonio, but really a living embodiment of possibility. Intelligent, articulate, with brown skin, he told us really that you could accomplish anything in the United States of America if you tried. The census tells us that already nearly a quarter of the folks under the age of 17 in this country are Latino. And what that means is that the United States destiny is intertwined with the Latino destiny. And so I am so happy that these days we see more folks with the name Martinez or Gonzalez who are becoming engineers and physicians and attorneys and teachers and reaching their own American dream. And they're also becoming public servants. And Henry, I think that I speak for so many folks in this room when I tell you that you have inspired a generation of us to dream and to work hard and to achieve our dreams. We owe a lot to you, and we honor you tonight. Thank you.